Hello YouTube people of YouTube land, it is I, Zoomman2 here, back with another video. Now, I've been thinking a lot about, comic book movies, and superhero movies specifically lately. And, now, I want to start this off with saying that I think we can pretty much agree that with X-Men, way back in, it was 2000, right? 1999 or 2000 was the first X-Men. That began the first renaissance of superhero films, wherein the superhero film became what superhero comics were for the longest time, which is just really solid escapist entertainment, but provided to a mass audience instead of just the comic book audience. Now I believe that with, I think it actually started with The Dark Knight. Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. And those were the forerunners. And then it was really kicked into high gear, last year, 2009, with Watchmen, and it continued this year with Kick-Ass, and to some extent Scott Pilgrim, even though Scott Pilgrim is technically not superhero, which is, the movies have started the deconstructionist, cycle of superhero entertainment. At least on the DC and independent side. Not so much on the Marvel side of things. We'll see how long it takes Marvel to get to deconstructionist stuff. But, in general, we have reached the deconstructionist point in our superhero movies. And it's got me thinking that pretty soon we might have, and it really is, I do believe that superhero movies are getting better and better. Dark Knight was amazing. Watchmen was probably the best we could have gotten from that source material. I mean, many people said it was unadaptable, you couldn't do it as a film, and maybe they were right, and maybe that, yes, what we got could just be written off as fanboy porn, but maybe that's all we could have ever gotten was fanboy porn. But, it was pretty well executed fanboy porn, as Kevin Smith said. It was a copy of Playboy instead of Hustler or Jugs. But, I forgot where I was going with this. Yes, Watchmen, pretty solid. Dark Knight was amazing. Kick-Ass was fucking awesome, as you well know. If you've seen my review, I loved Kick-Ass. I especially Hit Girl. And, I feel like we are getting closer to the perfect superhero movie. Now, Dark Knight was pretty damn close. But I don't think it was quite there as the perfect superhero movie, especially since a lot of people have pointed out many times that it kind of just blatantly states its themes, which is, yeah, it's done in a well enough way, but I mean, it's still, you're just spelling out what what the themes of your movie are, which is kind of, it's a little bit on the nose, but still, it lacks a certain subtlety, and I think that is what keeps it from that, as well as a few minor complaints, keep it from being the perfect superhero movie. But I do feel that in order to achieve the perfect superhero movie, we need to adapt a work. I do think that the work is out there, and we're going to explain more about that. I'm going to explain more about that in a minute. I do believe the work is out there. We're going to need to adapt a work that combines both aspects of the superhero genre. The deconstructionist and the postmodern deconstructionist mentality, as well as the classical escapist fantasy mentality. We need a work that combines both of them in order to achieve the perfect superhero movie. And I do believe that work is out there. We just need to adapt it. The work is called Invincible. It was written by Robert Kirkman. Some people might call me crazy for this, but I genuinely believe that Invincible, I haven't read past volume 1, but depending on where it goes, it could it could very well be better than Watchmen as a superhero comic. Not saying as a story, as a comic period, better than Watchmen, but as a superhero comic, it definitely has a shot at being better than Watchmen. And since the Watchmen movie didn't turn out that well, as a movie, it certainly has a chance to be the perfect superhero movie. Now, what I'm saying is that it combines the escapism with the deconstructionism. What would be that term? The deconstructionistism. Is that right? Fuck it. Whatever. It combines deconstructionist mentality with escapism. And it blends them in a way that's almost unnoticeable. A lot of people, I could see people who wouldn't think about this a lot to look at it one way or another. They could say Invincible is just a really well done escapist fantasy with good characters. Or they could say it is postmodern deconstructionist, it is very much taking apart the superheroes, it's mocking them, it is taking them apart piece by piece. I'm just repeating myself. I could see that being argued either way, but I seriously think when you look at the broad picture of it, it is both. It is simultaneously the deconstructionist and the escapism. Deconstructionist and escapist. There we go. Now, hang on a second. Sorry, I was picking out something I was fiddling with. Probably shouldn't have shared that, but I digress. I think Kick-Ass kind of did that, to a certain extent, but not with the degree of success that I think Invincible can. Especially given the fact that whereas Kick-Ass is more of a satire, in that, it's... How do I explain this? The escapist element is just a fun romp. There's not really a lot of compelling character stuff. It's just kind of, oh, this is really just a fun movie to watch. And, as the deconstructionist stuff, it's very much a mocking way. It's like, haha, look at how silly this is. As opposed to Invincible, which, on the escapist side, yes, it is very fun, but it's also very compelling characters. It has really well-written dialogue and really interesting stories to tell. And on the deconstructionist side, it's genuinely chilling when you think about, and I'm probably going to put the spoiler warning at the beginning when I mention Invincible in the annotations, but spoiler for Volume 1, which is... So if you haven't read Volume 1 of Invincible, stop watching this now. Which is, there's that, the great moment, the scene in Invincible where Omni-Man reveals to Mark his true motivation. He reveals that Viltrum is this warmongering planet, and he's been sent there to conquer Earth from the inside out, and he's a murderer and all this stuff. And you think about, that's a deconstruction of the idea of Superman. That is taking the idea of Superman, the idea of this alien outsider who comes to Earth and is supposed to protect us. It's like, you think about that, think about the likelihood of that happening in real life, it's completely ridiculous. Chances are, if someone's super powerful to come down from another planet, they'd want to fucking conquer us. And the fact that's a chilling idea, that is a chilling concept, that Superman comes down, pretends like he's protecting us, but he actually wants to conquer us. That's a chilling concept, but it's also a very realistic concept, and it's very much in the tradition of deconstructing superheroes. Wow. Dead silence. But, yes. I do, and... like I said, there's that aspect of it, but it still manages to get across the fun and the fun escapist elements of superheroes as well. As well as, a little bit of the mocking deconstructionist stuff, with just kind of look at how silly. It's like, oh, well, you super speed, you could, like, if your son leaves the house, you could get it on with your wife in, like, a series of quickies, and it's lol, 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 lol. Like that sort of thing. It's just, that's why I think Invincible could be the perfect superhero movie, is because it just blends all these aspects of the genre so flawlessly, with such great dialogue and such great characters and great artwork as well, which could very much translate to an amazing visual style, especially if it was done in animation. Fuck. I just lost my train of thought. Yes, just the way it blends all the different aspects of the genre so flawlessly and so perfectly, so beautifully, in a way that's so entertaining and is really accessible to, non-comic book readers. I genuinely believe it can be this perfect superhero movie. A lot of people may disagree with me. In fact, yes, go ahead. If you disagree with me, post your comments below. In fact, tell me what you think would make the perfect superhero movie. Tell me if you think it's already been made. Tell me if you think it's impossible to make. Tell me if you think superheroes are stupid. Tell me if you think fuck you for even daring to say that Invincible might be better than Watchmen. Watchmen is completely the masterpiece, and what are you thinking? And I'm gonna kick your ass because you dared say that something might be better than Watchmen. Say whatever you want. Go ahead, post your comments below. Rip me a new one, or call me a genius, whatever you want to say. But thanks for watching, everybody, and until next time, I am Zim Man 2.